Happy New Year, folks. Yep, back in the car. I am actually headed to an OB appointment. It's actually with a midwife, which I didn't know about until last night when I checked in online. Getting all the ladies checked and hopefully, fingers crossed, getting a referral for my first mammogram. Yeah, first one. I know that I'm almost 44. COVID happened, and before that, I just didn't get it scheduled. Oh my goodness sakes, Prius, go! Ah, pick a lane, Prius. There's not even any snow on the ground, and they're being like super cautious. Last update, you guys, it is actually the 3rd of January. Yes, I took 2 days off because I was exhausted, like absolutely blit. Took 2 naps yesterday, including during the Seahawk game that they actually won. Jason was like, you might want to wake up. We're kind of winning this one.
Exhausted.
Meanwhile, while I took naps, Jason actually took down our tree. So while I go to this appointment, you guys can check out Jason being super nice and taking down our Christmas tree for me and putting it away. It's kind of a task, a lot of lights on it and a lot of extra little doodads that he takes off for me. So go and check that out, and then we'll be right back because school is canceled. So we have all the kids home today. Fabulous. So while I thought I was gonna have a nice quiet day with Jason and sit and turn on a movie and quietly put away the Christmas decorations and not have much to do, we have all our children home for the day. And it's raining. Not actual snow, just rain. Yep, just rain. You guys, I loved my old doctor. Don't get me wrong, wonderful. I didn't have as many issues as I did back then, that I do now, I should say. So I ended up seeing a midwife today, just because that was the soonest I could get scheduled with anyone in this office. Best appointment I have gone to in years, literally in years. And I just want to kind of tell you guys about it a little bit, just because you guys know some of the, if you're regulars, you kind of know what I've kind of gone through with some doctors just kind of treating me like I'm just another number, you know, in their checklist of things to do for the day. Let me just zoom you in here really quick. Okay, that's better. This doctor, one, she said she's actually trained more in general practitioner work, but the doctor's office that she works for now is OB, and so she just does the midwifery stuff, which she's also trained in. But it came in handy for me because she immediately saw the A1C thing and that I'm doing my thyroid and all that kind of stuff, and was very willing to have conversations about those things. And one, recommended that I do go and get a general practitioner and continue to working on the A1C with them. But she said, I have every right to go ahead and order that panel of blood work for you as well. And she's also going to run a glucose blood work, or a glucose test as well, because she says that's more informational than the blood work for the A1C. She said, I think we're gonna get more answers from that. It's obviously very similar to when you're pregnant and you go take the glucose drink and you fast and then you take it again and then you get tested, and it's very similar. And she said, I'm just gonna put that order in and we're gonna come and do it anytime you're willing to fast, then just come in and get your testing done. But she said, I think that's going to be more of a sign of anything. But she said, you're on this brink of being at your 6-month mark of from start to finish of testing this. And so she's like, you could wait a little bit before you get that tested, just so we have like benchmarks to move from, because, oh my gosh, I could cry. So remember, it's January 3rd. Just came out of the holidays. I did fairly well for what I ate. I will say that, but I also cheated many times. The chips and dip thing, especially yesterday, it was a thing. I had them twice. So I am very proud of myself. I'm down another 4 pounds. 4 pounds down from my last appointment through not only Thanksgiving, but also Christmas and the New Year. I'm very proud of myself for making the changes that I've made, and I'm gonna continue to make some new ones that I think are gonna have some even more drastic effects. I'm not gonna give my weight because that's a little too much information for me to share, but I will say that I'm 2 pounds away from my driver's license not lying for the good. Like, I have lied on my driver's license for a very long time, and I think all of us especially women, do that. And that makes me feel really good that I am at a weight that I can now kind of be proud of and know that I'm making some good progress. So very excited for that, but also my lady parts are doing well and these lady parts are doing well. And here's the other kicker. And she said, now, have you gotten your mammogram done yet? And I said, no, that's why I'm seeing you today, because they require me to see you before I can go get the mammogram. And she about lost her nuggets. She said, that's not true. You literally could have called imaging and scheduled that yourself. You could have done that 4 months ago. You could have done that 2 years ago. You did not need me to be able to do that. And I said, your office told me I did. I yelled at them. I went back and forth, many phone calls, back and forth. And they told me that I had to have a visit before I could have a mammogram. And she said, that is not true. You advocate for yourself and schedule that yourself. So this is to you women. If your doctor's offices are telling you the same thing, call your imaging department and schedule it yourself. Wherever you can get a mammogram, find out and go and get it done. If you're over 40 and you have already done a doctor's appointment and you haven't scheduled your mammogram like I have, go get it done. So that I'm gonna schedule, but she's like, you're easily looking at a couple months out for the mammogram appointment. She had the very same thing. She had to schedule hers back in October and just barely got it done. So that's fine as long as I know I'm gonna get it done. And it also helps that I've had some imaging done on these ladies over at the volunteer place that I go to. So I'm very happy with how that appointment went, like extremely happy. And we joked during the exam, she was like examining my chest. Okay, now we can back up. It's all invasive. It's all invasive. And she joked, and because she's like, my hands are cold, and I was like, my chest is sweaty. And so we got talking about that, and like she played a game with her family over the holidays, and boob sweat was one of the things, and the boys didn't understand what that was, and all the women did. And anyway, I talked about how I gave a gift of a boob towel to one of my sisters. She was like, you need to go home and order one of those for yourself. That sounds amazing. And if I was at a more personal level with this doctor, I probably would order one for her. But as it is, I don't have to go back and see her for another year. And she's just gonna do she'll just look at the blood work herself, and she'll just call me and talk to me about it if anything comes up this drastic. But she's like, most likely I'll just send it on to your general practitioner when you get that appointment, and you'll just have that as another baseline. And I think that's fantastic. See how it works well when you have a good doctor who can communicate. And I just shed tears of like joy talking to this lady, because I was like, I haven't had this kind of a communication with a doctor in a year. And anyway, fantastic. So I'm gonna reward myself really quick and go to Marshall. I just got a new notebook. I'll show you at home. I just did my new 2022 notebook. If you're new, I love notebooks. But when I get a new one, I always like to replace it. Because as my husband said, I tried to get you a new notebook for Christmas because I know how much you love them, and I had the kids with me and they tried to find the one that you like and we couldn't find them. And I was like, this is why I stock up. It's just like groceries, you stock up for a rainy day in case you can't find them. So we're gonna go over there really quick. I'm betting my teenagers are either still asleep or still groggy. So my husband is home with both of the younger two, just hanging out with them, and there's cars now, so I gotta go. So apparently Marshall's is closed for another hour because they're doing inventory. I do not miss those days of retail inventory to save my life. Not at all. So I guess I'm going home. I tried to call Jason to see if he needed anything or needed to go out. He didn't answer his phone. So I guess I'm just gonna go home and clean up Christmas, which doesn't sound very fun at all. But if he's here to help me with the buckets for one day, then I'm gonna take the help, because he works tomorrow and everyone goes back to school tomorrow. So I think I'll enjoy a quiet day tomorrow if I can get it all done today. Just got home and someone just gave me a lot of shade. So he's sitting down here to sew some of his pants up.
Stitch up a seam there.
And stitch up a seam.
Well, you were trying to get on me. You're like, oh, you're gonna be domestic.
Yeah, and then what did you say?
It's like, well, somebody's gotta be domestic around here.
Schmuck.
You're right.
Douche.
Where the sewing stuff is,
because he uses it more often than I do.
I know. I might need you to thread this needle though.
He can't thread the needle.
I lost the good needles.
You want to sew up the Christmas pillow while you're at it? Because it needs to get kind of popped open.
Where did the good needles go?
I actually need to get some needles with a little bit bigger of a hole.
Yeah, they're like super tiny.
They're really hard to, I have a hard time doing it, but even with his glasses.
Shut up.
But I think it is time to put this stuff away. Can you bring me my bins, babe?
No, I'm working on this right now.
Okay, then I get a little bit of time off before I have to do that. Because I don't have anything to do. He's even moved laundry for me. He's really domestic today.
You could do this for me and then I'll go get the bins.
I can thread the needle. Okay, I got domestic and I sewed up the pillow and his pants. He like sat there and watched me while he brought in the bins. So now I have no excuse. I want these back out into the garage very soon. So I'm gonna turn on a movie, like I said, and turn all of this mess into these boxes and get it put away. You guys, it's a miracle. Trash is getting picked up. Okay, let's see if he puts in the other boxes that we have sitting there. Oh, he's gonna get out. We missed a whole week. I think he's stopping, or he's crunching that up. He needs to grab the 4 boxes that are on the ground. So, is he gonna get out and do the other box? Oh, hallelujah. He's getting out. Is he gonna get our boxes? Oh, come on, come on. Get him, get him, get him, get him. This is our exciting point in our day. Is he gonna put them in or not? Yep, that's what he did. He put them in the can so that he could lift it in. Yeah. Sweet. Thank you, Mr. Trash Man. Ah, he did the other one. Sweet. Okay. Some of you may not think that was a big deal, but it's been 2 weeks since our garbage is picked up. And you'd pick the worst week out of the entire year to not pick the trash up, and it would be the week we didn't get our trash picked up. The week of Christmas. And the week after. And all the kids home from break. And all the food. And all the Costco. Yes. That was a lot of garbage. I'm so glad it's gone. That was recycling. The garbage still has to come because there's more stuff on the other side of the house that's garbage. Okay, back to this mess. I've got Sweet Magnolias playing. And we're gonna get this mess done. Alright, I think I'm going to start with all of the linens. I've tried to like put it over here in little sections. Like this is all ornaments and little trinkets. But I have all of my linens that I can put into this bag. These are linens that I didn't use. In fact, this is the runner that my twin sister made for me a couple years ago and had quilted. But the red isn't quite red enough. Sometimes I use it, but the red isn't quite the red that I use, but I still like to keep it and use it every once in a while. Sometimes if I do like a party and I put stuff on this counter up here, I actually should have used it for that. It's a nice runner to put underneath like my trays and stuff. I just didn't have people over more than the one little party that Kaylee had. Okay, bagged up all the linens. And next up, just because this is the linen box, I'm gonna do the nativity boxes. Just the one set goes into these. It's the willow tree. They're quite popular. They're right over there. So I'll box those guys up, and I've got one little case for another set. And then this box will be done. All right, got all the nativities packed up. This one just kind of gets tucked down in. I need some more paper towel to wrap him up. But then we put all of these boxes into this bin, and that part is done. All right, so I have to say, this little house advent calendar was probably my favorite addition to our decorations this year. And it's gonna be really fun to pull it out next year. Okay, next up is all of these ornaments. And I've got a whole stack of them right here, as well as the garlands. And they go into these bins right here. And I have a very particular way to put them in here and organize them. So this is why I wanted to make sure I took the time to do it kind of in an organized way, because it helps when you go and decorate them the next year to pull them out. See our cute little sister angels, they go on. And then I have 4 of these guys. So we always like to make sure we find these the next year. So, all right, so I packed up all of the ornaments and trinkets, and I thought I would just kind of show you guys. It's nothing fancy. I like things kind of tucked into their place and having them kind of be like items. Like these are all of my light sets and garlands. They're all into baggies so that the, you know, sets and the bulbs don't get broken, but in a box so that like they're protected from the box as well. And then we've got another garland right here, and then all of our little soft ornaments. And same with this one. I've got some more trinket ornaments and things that I decorate with. And then I've got all the wooden ones. I've got, this is only one like this, but then I've got all these ones that I made, and then these ones, and then my little tree stumps. So I just kind of like placed them all. These ones are all the little trinkets that had to get wrapped up, as same with this one as well. And then this guy has some older ornaments in it that I don't necessarily use, but I don't want to get rid of. Like this is our wedding photo, and then there's used to be you could record a message in it, but it doesn't work anymore, so I don't really decorate with that one, but I like to keep it. So I just have that, and then it's all organized. So really I'm down to a few things. Let me get this all stacked up and put away into this box. These ones pack up really, really well into these buckets because they're square. And then the circle ones stack up on top of the square ones. I mean, come on. If that's not like an organized person's dream. Like everything packages up nicely. Oh, it's so nice. Okay, so I have this wooden stuff next. I've got 2 buckets, maybe a little bit into that one, but I don't like that one's all lights. So I've got to get like these trinkets wrapped up into paper and paper towels and bags and stuff. I think I'm gonna need to get some more, but I've got to get all of this wood stuff and these trinkets into these 2 boxes and a pillow. I think that's what I have left. Goodness sakes, you guys, it's hard to stand up after sitting on the floor. All right, we've got nativities, we've got Christmas ornaments. All the ornaments and all the garlands are in this tree from upstairs. This one has linens and all the rest of those little houses and trucks. And then this guy has, what does he have in it? Again, more of those little boards and the houses. I always leave these little red houses on top because I actually use these for the 4th of July as well. And then I can kind of pull them out easy. And then that is all lights. And now it's his job to take them out and put them. Oh, did you mess it up? You don't take that.
It won't shut.
It will. It will.
When it was on the edge there, it won't shut, so I'm trying to make it so it shut.
Okay. The only box I have left is my wrapping paper. I haven't dealt with that. I haven't redone the boxes and collapsed them all down and stuck them into the box and the bags that we used. So I'm going to do that really quick so I can get rid of that. And I actually think I'm going to leave my wrapping paper bin in here because we actually use like the butcher paper and the other wrapping paper often. And I don't know if I have room for it in the garage or a nice place for it in the garage. And this is kind of a nice container. Okay, wrapping paper bucket is organized and I was able to save every box. And then my little bin of tape and labels and ribbon all fit nicely down in there, and he's done after this bucket, which he's very excited about.
Go vacuum upstairs.
I know, thank you. Okay, so we've got the whole family here, and we actually are going to be able to go out to dinner. Can you wear different pants? Oh, child. No, we're not going.
You're always telling me to wear something warm, and now I wear sweatpants.
Because you're going out in the snow. Now we're going to a nice restaurant. Can you please go change your pants? Okay, hang on. Okay, we are going to Cheesecake Factory now that we're all appropriately dressed. And Jacob is with us. And he's never been to Cheesecake Factory, so this is a first for him. How many restaurants have you not I know, we get to expose him to lots of good food. So we're about to head out. Cheesecake Factory?
Yeah.
Yeah?
It was really good.
You liked it?
Yeah.
Worth it? Alright, we're gonna sign off because I actually get to call my brother. Oh, red lights. It's probably a Prius. Oh my gosh, is it?
No, it's...
But why is he going 10 miles an hour on the on-ramp? Anyway, we're headed home, but I get to call my brother and help him book his trip to Hawaii, and I'm so excited. So I'm gonna hang up with you guys so that I can call him, and these guys need to go to bed. Well, not those two, but the other chitlins do. So we will say goodnight to you guys. Happy New Year, and we'll see you next time.